I attended a sentencing hearing last week for a friend of mine. His name is Matthew Ber, and Matthew's built this really strong support system that he began building at the very start of the time that he learned he was the target of a criminal investigation. When I say he built a strong support network, I want to comment on saying why that's so important for you to do. And it was evident as we went through that sentencing hearing, because the courtroom was packed with, it was so full that they didn't only have all the pews filled in the courtroom, but they had an overflow room that probably had another 20 people in it. So why is that relevant? Well, I will tell you that the judge, when he was imposing sentence, made a statement and said, it's very rare that I see this much support for somebody who's facing a sentencing hearing. So this is a really great lesson and takeaway for you if you are facing time in federal prison, or if you have a loved one that's facing time in federal prison. Whether you're getting ready for sentencing or you're getting ready to come home, that family support is super, super important. And there are two sides to building support, okay? It starts with the individual, right? The individual that's going through the process. That person should have some responsibility in building that support. I can tell you the way that Matt did it is he took the time right after investigators raided his house and gave him pretty clear indication that there's going to be a criminal investigation and a criminal charge coming up. He started to introspect and think about his life and think about how did I get here? What happened, right? Because it's very rarely a single decision. It's a series of decisions that we make through the course of life that put us in one place of where we are at a given time. But at any time, we can start making different decisions, and that's what Matt did. He started to introspect. He wrote his story. I would encourage you to take a look at a book that he published. It's called Recalibrate, and it's really what he did. He recalibrated his life. He had to think about the decisions that he made that led him into criminal charges, and then think about the decisions that he could make that would lead him to recalibrate and rebuild his life. And he did that, started doing that the day that he learned of a raid, or certainly concurrently to the same time that he learned he was the target. And then by the time he had sentencing, he was very public about it. And he had a huge body of support that the judge commented on. And even though he was facing guidelines that could have exposed him to 5 years in prison, the judge has sentenced him to 12 months and 1 day, which at the end of the day means he'll probably serve about 5 or 6 months in federal prison. But this isn't about Matt, and it isn't about me. It's about you. If you're facing these charges in the system, or you're going through the system, or you love somebody who's facing these charges or is going through the system, start thinking about how to build this body of support. Build a group of people who believe in you. I think it's really crucial, regardless of what stage you're in, to start demonstrating the humanity of your life, that you're somebody who's learned from experiences and you're on a path to do better. At prisoninvestors.org, we created tools to try and help you do that. And it's one of the reasons I say you just don't need to hire a prison consultant. What you need to do is develop your own knowledge of what's coming and what is best practice for building a story, for rewriting the story of your life. You don't have to be like Matt and write, an entire book, but you should definitely start writing your biography. And you could do that right on the prisoninvestors.org website. Just go to the profiles and open a profile. It's totally free. Everything is free. And tell us who you are. Tell us what you've learned from this experience. Tell us why you're worthy of support from the community. Write a journal. Talk about the things that you're going through today. In what ways are the decisions that you're making today influencing what you're going to become in the future? Write about your self-directed learning plan with book reports. Build a release plan that's going to show what you're going to do going forward to atone, to make amends, to reconcile, or to build the next chapter of your life. This is super important. It can help you build character reference letters that you will need, or get testimonials that you will need at sentencing, but that you also may need in the future when you're trying to advocate for the higher level of liberty at the soonest possible time. It could help you build a coalition of support of people who will become advocates on your behalf. You want to document your progress all the way through the journey. If you're a loved one, you should visit prisonprofessors.org, look at the profile section, and see how you can become a profile partner to your loved one, so that while your loved one is serving time in prison, you're encouraging him to, or her, to document and memorialize the journey and everything that they are doing. The more you document, the stronger you are going to be when you're sitting across the table from people who have influence on your prospects for liberty. Start working today for the success that you want to build tomorrow. One thing I always say at Prison Professors is you really cannot outsource that. You've got to be the one that's doing it, but it can make an enormous difference. When I got out of prison after 25 years, I was actually 25 years. I didn't get out of prison. I transitioned to a halfway house at 25 years. But when I got there, because of this body of work that I could bring, all the books that I wrote while I was in prison, all the offers that I had for income opportunities when I got out, all the letters of support that I had, because of that, I had a really much higher level of liberty in the halfway house than anybody would have expected for somebody who served a quarter century in prison. And when I finished my obligation to the Bureau of Prisons and transitioned to supervised release, that entire body of work led to me getting carte blanche to be able to travel anywhere I wanted in the United States without permission. It allowed me to be able to build a career in this work that I do now, which is trying to reform America's prison system. It allowed me to be an entrepreneur and build my own businesses. It allowed me to raise capital. All of these strategies helped me build a life that I wanted to architect. And I want you to be able to architect a pathway to success. And you can get all of these lessons for free. I'll never lie to you. I'll never ask you to do anything that I didn't do. And I'll never ask anybody to pay a penny for all the information I provide for free at Prison Professors. I believe in you. I don't think you need to hire anybody to help you do this, but I do think you need to invest the time. But if you want to talk to somebody, I will only recommend Justin Paperny, and you can visit him through his interactive webinars that he offers every week at whitecollaradvice.com/nonprofit. Remember, I believe in you. Be cool.